Alright, this is Wolfman, issue 22, continuing with Enemy of the State. The completely carefree action blockbuster from Mac Millar and Jr. This issue sees the brainwashed Wolfman go toe-to-toe with Fantastic Force. This is the cover. Fantastic Force look good. Wolfman doesn't. That is my story, and I am sticking with it. What we need to know is Wolfman is being controlled by Hydra and the Foot clan. He has become their weapon. Throughout his enslavement, we see his actual thoughts trying to fight against his programming, to no success. And right now, he has been sent after Fantastic Force. We have Hume on Fire and Thing here. And the team are written not as good as I wanted them to be written. You see, the thing is, Mac Millar, as to his name, a run on Ultimated Fantastic Force with Gregory Landsman. Ultimated Fantastic Force issues 21 through to 32. And I actually really love that. It is some of Mac Millar's most sincere writing. He seems to actually like and love Fantastic Force. It was also that run that introduced the Marvel Zombies. Don't judge it for that. They actually just a fucking horror enemy in that original story. It's not a joke story with gross out comedy moments like Spider-Man eating Mary James. It's just serious. It's not like Robert Kirkham's Marvel Zombies. The most important thing from that run is that it establishes Invisible Wife and Hume on Fire's mom is really off. I have been thinking a lot about Jr. lately because I confess I like his Spider-Man work that came before this. Famously, Jr. fell off at some point, and I have never been able to identify exactly when. But my current thought process is that it might be this story. He might have even fallen off sooner if Spider-Man didn't allow him plenty of time to not have to draw proper people as often. Spider-Man can look a bit janky. He's covered in a costume. Even Steve Ditman drew Spider-Man looking weird a lot of the time. Actually, speaking of costumes, I don't think this Wolfman costume does Jr. any favours. The layout of it seems to highlight all the awkward parts of Jr.'s anatomy. The crotch, for example. Anyway, we have these bits with the villains. The Kurgan and Hydra. They are observing Wolfman's mission. And the Kurgan is with Baron Hydra, clearly. You know it is Baron Hydra the minute there is a bald-ass man in the scene. But on this page, the Kurgan even calls him by his name. Wait until you see the twist ending of this issue, though. One of the things that disappointed me was the writing of Mr. Fantasticals and Invisible Wife. Mac Millar handled them great in Ultimated Fantastic Force. Their relationship, he dealt with it really well. Even in Mac Millar's underwhelming, unimpressive run on the main title that came after this, he usually had their relationship be healthy. Then at the same time, however, he upended their marriage a bit in Civil Wars, so I don't know what to really make of him and them. I am tired of and you should be too because it's crap writing. I am tired of the idea Mr. Fantasticals neglects his wife or his son, that he is too into his experiments to either remember them or notice them. Fucking hate that. It is a version of the character that persists because people don't read much Fantastic Force. To me, Mr. Fantasticals is content to do the exact opposite. Invisible Wife and Franklin Fantasticals mean more to him than science. He would abandon his projects if they were in danger, or even just that they needed him. Like Invisible Wife has had a bad day or whatever. I mentioned Civil Wars, and this is nearly some prologue to that. One of the ideas in Civil Wars is this trio, the brains of the Marvel Universe, Mr. Fantasticals, Iron Man, and Hank Gordon. The idea is that they regularly meet up and exchange ideas and finesse each other's theories and equations. They work together on the betterment of the world and technological advancements. In Civil Wars, the three of them are the bad guys, I guess. I don't really like talking about Civil Wars. I've not talked about it much at all on here. And the thing is, Civil Wars actually seriously accomplishes many things that Marvel should be proud of, but not much of it is in the characterization or continuity department. I also will say the Brain Trust trio are a tremendous improvement over Michael Brian Benson's Illuminati rubbish. Two very similar ideas done at about the same time, but one done less offensively and less poorly by the writer that isn't Benson. I reckon if you wanted to do what Benson did, if you wanted to retcon that these three had always been doing these councils, you could do that, and it's not upsetting long-standing rivalries or creating giant headaches of moral dubiousness like Benson gave them. That two of these three characters are repeated in the Illuminati idea really makes this look preferable. I was going to mention a retcon here which would lead right into mentioning another retcon, but next issue is the one where I can talk about the insane amount of pointless retcons to this story. We are about to have Wolfman battle the team. Their security defences, the same ones that tried to kill them yesterday, have picked up Wolfman's heat signature. So now they know that he is there. And if you loved seeing the team job to deathly Ed, you are in for a repeat performance right here. Something else you are also in for is what surely has to be the inspiration behind when Marvel gave Wolfman heat claws. If you don't know, that was a thing. 6 years ago, Marvel's great new idea for Wolfman was he now had heated claws. It is very similar to the issue of Deathly Ed. Oh, that page has just come out right there. We get to see each member of Fantastic Force individually try their luck against Wolfman. In the case of Thing, he is often the character the comic will focus on. At least when it comes to physical fighting like this. He is the obvious action character. He's the strong man. That's all he has, really. He is strong, and he is a brawler. One stark difference between the two comics I've looked at lately is Mr. Fantasticals. He gets an actual chance to fight in this. Deathly Ed electrocuted him the minute he touched him. But here we see him using his stretchy stretch powers to swallow up Wolfman and keep him contained. Would be a great solution to the problem if Hydra didn't also give Wolfman a short-range teleportation device so he can blink away. Lastly, we have the Queen, Invisible Wife. Again, she dominates. Invisible Wife is a beast. And I have noticed this. Mac Millar has a propensity to have Invisible Wife use her powers this specific way. He will have her make her opponent's optic nerves invisible to blind them. She does it to Wolfman here, and she does it in Ultimated Fantastic Force. But let's not beat around the bush. There is an S.H.I.E.L.D story based on this where Invisible Wife becomes Madame Hydra's, and I have bashed off to it more times than I can count. It is a Christopher Clairvoyant story. His first S.H.I.E.L.D story. It's a bad story, but fuck, does it give me some wonderful Invisible Wife pornography. If you thought a Bondage Queen run in Jason Byrne's Fantastic Force was hardcore, wait until you meet Madame Hydra's Invisible Wife. I find it upsetting that me and Christopher Clairvoyant possibly share some kinks, but he also has some that are absolutely not for me. The story of that universe in S.H.I.E.L.D is that Wolfman murdered Invisible Wife Aya, and she was resurrected as another brainwashed Hydra slave. But she was so unbelievably sexy, she took over Hydra and the world. And I would happily live in that world. A world ruled by her. It can only be a good thing. It does, however, present a misunderstanding of this issue. That was the switcheroo. We're meant to think Wolfman is attacking Fantastic Force to murder them so that Hydra can resurrect them as soldiers. But it wasn't. Wolfman was sneaking in to actually steal the blueprints for the science Mr. Fantasticals and the others were thinking up. The fight was for sure. It was to cover the real motive. And then, our twist ending, prepare to gasp everyone, Baron Hydra is in charge of this operation. He is working with the Kurgan and the Foot Clan. It's not a bad comic, but I need to go wank over some ideas now. I wonder if Hydra Invisible Wife ever met Ultimated Invisible Wife's mum. Seven thumbs up.